Okay, let's talk about the 4 big nightmare shots. The top, the skied shot or the balloon shot, the slice, and the duck hook. 4 shots that really are, I guess, the tee shot of your nightmare. We're going to talk about what causes these shots and how you can avoid them. Let's start with the most embarrassing of all, which is the top shot. All right? What's happening when we top that tee shot? If you couldn't see that, that was a definite top. Okay? What's happening is when I hit the ball, the club is ascending so much that I catch the ball way down here at the bottom of the club face, and I'm not able to get backspin on it. It gets topspin and boom, it hits the ground. Okay? So what causes that? Boy, it's the same thing that causes so many problems in golf. It's a lot of extra hands. A lot of hands. The other thing that causes this top shot is the desire to lift the ball in the air, so we move our weight backwards, which makes the club reach the low end of its swing too soon, and then it comes up with that little scoop move and boom, we top it. And that's not good, is it? So how do we work on that? One thing we want to do is we want to make sure we're always moving our weight forward. So one little thing we teach kids around here is we teach them, hey, when you hit that shot, every drive you hit, every shot you hit, you should be able to tap your back toe. And I can do this because I transfer weight onto my front side. By transferring my weight to my front side, I'm able to get the center of my body forward. The club tends to bottom out forward, and I'm gonna avoid a lot of those top shots. Okay. The next thing is we want to try to relax our hands and not be so active with them. So one quick little thing that I found helps me is I try to think about making contact with the ball, not on the back of the ball, but a little bit on the inside part of the ball. So see when I try to hit the inside part of the ball, how that moves my hands more forward? So that would be good. That would be bad. See the butt end pointing back here? So by just trying to in practice, get that club a little on the inside of that ball to push it off a little bit for me to the right actually helps me have my hands be more passive, and it's going to help me hit the ball more like up in here instead of down in there. Okay. Let's talk about the skied shot, balloon shot, everything else. This is the shot that puts that mark on your club right there. That sky mark, and we don't like that. We don't like the way the ball goes. So here's what's happening with this shot, and I'm going to switch angles here. I'm sorry there's not a ball here to hit, but when we make our backswing and start our downswing, the average golfer makes this move where they start their downswing with their shoulders and their hips are moving kind of backwards this way, and then what happens is the club approaches the ball really steeply, really, really steep, and they end up kind of hitting the ball like that. And I don't want to do it because I don't want to damage my club, okay? But here's how we're going to get rid of that. We're going to make a backswing, a shorter backswing in practice, right? So right now my back is turned to the target. I'm going to keep my back turned to the target as I start my downswing. See how that's working? So if I move over this way, you look down the target line, you can see this way, I'm going to be able to bring that club in from the inside of the target line, and it's not going to be so steep, and it's going to help me hit the ball properly. I'm not going to be hitting straight down on it. It's going to look kind of like this. So I'm going to back, keep that back turned to the target, feel that, right? Now we're just going to hit a smooth one. So I only hit that ball probably like 50-60% speed. It went maybe like 150 yards, didn't go all that far, but it gave me that right feel of being able to have that club come in from the correct path, the correct angle of attack, not that downward strike. So we've got the top taken care of, we got the skied shot taken care of. Now my personal favorite, the slice, okay? So what causes the slice also causes like that skied shot a lot. It's this sort of a move on the way back down. This out to in swing path where the club cuts across. The ball actually starts left, believe it or not, and then slices off to the right for a right-handed golfer. Okay? So here's what we're going to do. Number one, believe it or not, you may slice your driver uncontrollably and not really see too much of a problem with the shorter clubs. So you should first check your grip. Okay? Check your grip so that when you put your top hand on, so for me my top hand is my left hand, you should be able to see 1, 2, 3 knuckles should be visible at setup on that top hand. On your bottom hand, when you put that on the club, the V between your thumb and your forefinger should point kind of between your chin and your shoulder. By the way, if you're checking the V on your left hand or your top hand, it's going to go at your right shoulder. Okay, so make sure you've got that grip on there. That's going to help you be able to rotate that club face through to avoid that ball ballooning off to the right or slicing off to the right. Okay. Next thing is ball position. Make sure your ball position isn't too far forward. If it is, you're going to catch it as the club is coming from it's going to be swinging to the inside too much. You're going to put cut spin on it. So not too far forward. It'll be the most forward of anything, but not too far. Okay. And then the third thing is, you guessed it, we're going to turn back, keep that back turn to the target, and then we're going to try to swing so that we start our downswing with our hips, our lower body this way as opposed to that way. So let's give this one a try. Good grip. So here's what's great about this. It's good grip, good ball position. This is all before I even take the club back, right? Now I'm just going to make sure I keep my back turned to the target as I start this downswing. So that ball started off to the right a little bit and drawn back to the left, so that's pretty good. All right, now the duck hook. All right, that duck hook, first thing is, check the grip. If you're gripping it so that this V points too far behind you, your club is really going to get shut fast. Okay, that can be a big problem. So make sure that you're set up so that you can see 3 knuckles, no more than that, and this V is pointing at your right shoulder. Right hand, the V points between the chin and the shoulder. Now a lot of people who hit big old duck hooks, they play the ball too far back in their stance, and they catch the ball so much from the inside, they catch that ball as the club is coming from the inside, and the club actually then rotates really, really quick because they have too strong of a grip, and that thing just goes spinning fast and hard to the left. And people who have this duck hook problem with the driver, a lot of times they don't have the problem with the shorter clubs because there's so much more loft on the shorter clubs. Okay, so we're going to make sure we've got good ball position. If you're back here, it's too far back. It's going to be forward of center, and you might have to experiment. If you're duck hooking, definitely try to move that ball position forward a little bit. Experiment with that. Good grip on there. Okay, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to feel like when I'm thinking about if someone is hitting those bad duck hooks, when they feel like they're hitting the back of the ball, they might be hitting way on the inside part of the ball. So I'm going to focus more on hitting a little bit on the outside part. So I'm making what feels more like, by the way, if you're the slicer, if you're the sky ball guy, stop listening to this. But if you're the duck hook guy, you may have to feel like you're actually hitting the ball a little bit on the outside and cutting across it, if that's the trouble that you're having. So let's try that. That was really good. Okay, so those are the 4 nightmare disaster shots. You've got basically the top, which means you're hitting the ball too much on the upswing. So we got to tone down the hands, maybe move the ball position back in our stance a little bit, and we've got to make sure we're moving weight to our front side. Then we've got the sky ball guy. So the sky ball is too steep of a path in this way. It's an over-the-top type of a swing, so that guy is going to feel like he's going to keep his back turned to the target, start with the lower body so they can swing from the inside and not descend on the ball so much. The slice, check the grip. Make sure it's not really, really weak like this. Check the grip. Check the ball position that it's not too far forward, right? Keep that back turned to the target so we can swing from the inside. And then the duck hook, again, check the ball position. It may be too far back. The grip may be too strong. You may have to weaken that up a little bit and try to hit a slice. Try to make contact a little bit with the outside part of the ball, kind of cutting across that ball. Okay? Boy, I know that's 4 different swing thoughts, 4 different faults, I should say. Hopefully only one of them is bothering you. I hope that helps. We'll see you next time.